Hey guys, it's Zach Hart.
And I'm Max Hart.
Today we're going to be going over some of the cars that we have in our personal fleet, and the reasons why we chose these vehicles and what we found, how we found them to be so successful.
Yeah, and let's just talk about what we bought them at, where we're going to sell them, and kind of the game plan. So the first one, which we recently bought, this probably is my favorite car, is our 2015 Grand Caravan.
Yeah, for us, we found a lot of success in minivans. We bought this one for, what was it, 16.5?
16.5,
16.5. It's rented out maybe 70% of the days. It's usually really clean customers. They bring them back on time, no problems. That's a big thing. When you buy a car, you have to take into consideration the customer base that you're going to receive with that. You know, that's a big thing is when you get a Camaro, you know, you're going to have a lot of people that are racing it, that are driving it super aggressively. That's going to hurt you at the end of the day. You know, having a minivan for us is, we've seen a lot of success in keeping the cars clean, keeping them out a lot.
Family cars.
Yeah, as well as people are willing to pay a little bit more money for a vehicle that's a little bit bigger, you know, with a higher capacity, as well as just easy, you know. And families we found to be some of the best people to rent to.
Yeah, and this one right now, so we bought it for 16.5. We're renting it anywhere from I'd say the average is 68, 69 to maybe 84. So in that range, sometimes it gets a little cheaper if it's summer, it's hot. And then it gets more if it's winter. Super Bowl is coming up, so it's definitely going to be more, but that's kind of the range. The second car we bought, I think is the cleanest, and I'm sure you could agree that we got a 2013 Ford C-Max.
Yeah, this one was kind of a steal. It was a family friend that ended up giving us for a great deal, but the condition and the features, that's really what we found.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Having the smallest thing to a touch screen to the backup camera. Customers love that. You know, they want to feel like they're driving something nice, not something that's a hunk of junk.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've had a couple vehicles that are not in the greatest condition, something that we bought for cheap, but the C-Max was definitely one that it appeals to a lot more of a higher end audience.
Right now, we're renting it anywhere from, what did we buy it for?
We bought it for $12,500.
$12,500, okay. So it was under Blue Book. We're renting it right now. It looks like anywhere from $45 to $72 per day. We're normally in the 40s to 50s range right now, but as kind of we go farther into season, it's gonna get into the 60s really quick. So that, I think that was a super good price, super good car. This one, I think this was our third or fourth car we got in the app. It's a 2012 Ford Fiesta. And when you read about Turo and you watch YouTube videos, the Ford Fiesta is the car to get, and people buy them for dirt cheap. They have buttloads of miles, but we did it right. We got it from a guy, great gentleman, lived way outside of town. He came by, he's nice enough to bring it by, let me take a look at it. We got the price situated. This was before the car market went crazy, so we bought it probably 6-8 months ago for $5,600. Okay, it had 50,000 miles, and it was clean. It was really clean. The only thing that I maybe would change is the exhaust.
Yeah, it did have a little bit sporty exhaust, but we haven't found that to be a problem with any customers. You know, a lot of the younger crowds really liked it, and even some of the older generation definitely thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
But it hasn't hurt its rentals. You know, it's still renting out super consistently. We see that vehicle's almost never at our home.
That is actually the highest rented car this year so far. We're in November, so it's just beginning of November. It's almost made $11,000. It's our high. It's made the most money for us, and it's a little Fiesta. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes the cars you wouldn't expect. Whenever we talk to dealers or people, and they I know it would rent well on Turo, and they tell us, and it's it doesn't work like you think it would. It's not the cars you'd expect to rent well. Sometimes it's the ones you wouldn't expect, and that totally goes to show with this 2012 Ford Fiesta. It's making minimum $1,000 a month.
Yeah, it's really doing well for the amount we paid for it. It's paid itself off in 5-6 months.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It paid itself off quick.
Yep, unbelievable.
Yeah, and we're kind of doing the math with our out strategy on that. We're gonna 4 times our money on that car, and that's just one. That's amazing. Next one is a 2016 Ford Fiestas. You'll get a little bit of a vibe from us. I mean, we like Ford Fiestas a lot.
Yeah, we found a lot of success in them, and we've really been pushing hard to maximize, each individual vehicle, and these ones seem to be doing the best for us.
Yeah. So we bought this one. This was probably our second car, maybe. We bought this a while ago. It was this lady. I mean, when I met her, super nice, super clean. I mean, this thing is at 16, but it only had like 19,000 miles. 19,000 is just you can't find stuff like this. So we negotiated with her. I mean, what do you think is like a month?
Yeah, it took us about a month to really lock in a price that we were comfortable paying.
Yeah.
She had it listed for quite a bit of time already before we started reaching out to her, which helped us in the long run, getting that price down to where we wanted it at. And that's a big part. We talked about doing research earlier. This is, it's not just finding a car that's going to do well, but finding a car at the price that's going to do well.
And not. I mean, there's a lot of people that will go see a car. Okay, they don't get the deal they want and just get it. Just to get it. And you have to understand that you need to negotiate on all the deals, and you have to be willing to walk away. I mean, that's your strongest negotiation tactic, is walking away. We got this car for $10,000. I mean, she started at either 12.5 or 13.
I think it was 13 or 14.
Oh, yeah. Whoa! I didn't know it was that much. So we got her down quite a bit, but I mean, we got her down to a good price for us, and I mean, I felt like a good price for her, because it just wasn't selling. So I mean, I think we're both happy at the end. And right now that car is rented out for. I mean, it's fully rented, and we have that thing rented right now from, I'd say anywhere from like $42 to maybe $65 per day. Sometimes they'll get like into the 60, 70 if it's like really busy, which will be in the next couple of months.
Yep, that season's coming around.
Yeah. So when you're pricing your vehicles, just a quick note, you want to make sure. I mean, you could do the auto pricing, but we just did that recently, and not recently. We did it probably a month ago, and it wasn't great. So we stopped doing that. And I mean, if you can do it yourself and watch and manage it, I mean, you're gonna make way more money. Next one is a 2016 again, Ford Fiesta. Silver though. The last one was red.
Yeah, this one's about the same story. Just we got it at a good price. I don't remember exactly how much.
We got it for $8,600.
$8,600. We have it rented out for roughly the same price. Between $50, $60, $70 a day. These things, they just rent out like crazy. Everyone wants them, which is. It's great to see, how fast your investment pays off, and it's really, it's awesome with the lower cost to get in. I definitely recommend this for someone that's just trying to start out getting into Turo. Yeah,
for sure. And also, I think that it's really good gas mileage. I mean, that's why a lot of people are wanting, especially now. I mean, right now the gas is more than it's been, but I think that's why people are really taking a liking to those.
Yeah, that's one thing you'll notice across all of our vehicles. We don't dabble in any V8s. Everything's usually a V6 or 4-cylinder.
For now.
Yeah, we have 3. All of our vans are V6s, and then the rest are 4-cylinders, which we found a lot of success in.
Yeah. So this one's pretty recent. This is a GMC Terrain. It's a 2012. We bought it from a little dealership. Normally we buy private. Recently we bought just a couple dealership, and it's only if we can... Yeah, 2 dealership. It's only if we can get in there and get a really good price and really negotiate and get it. I mean, you always want to buy cars at or below Blue Book. We've been getting everything below Blue Book because as of right now, I mean, the market's shifting a little bit, and if everything comes down, I mean, immediately you could lose so much of your investment. And that's what it is. I mean, these are investments, obviously depreciating, so that's why you have to watch out for
depreciating assets.
Yeah, depreciating assets. So that's why you have to watch out for how much money you're losing, but if you get it at a good deal, I mean, that's the biggest thing. So we bought this 2012 GMC Terrain for $10,810. I got him at a weird price, but I think he wanted like 13, so we got him down. Great price. I mean, this thing is killing it so far. It's fully booked. Right now it's going for 60s to 70s to 80s. So $60 to $80 right now. Yeah,
that seasonal stuff really comes into play. Being in Phoenix with the Super Bowl has a big impact, as well as all the sports events like the golf, the Super Bowl, the Phoenix Open. All these things have a big impact on when the people are going to come to town, when those prices are going to rise. So you're going to look in your area, depending on what events and what stuff's going on, you're really going to see a big change in those prices.
Yeah. And like for us, I mean, the Super Bowl and the Open are months away. I mean, I think they're 3 months out or something. So I mean, we already raised the prices to 2.5 times. So maybe the cars that we're renting out for maybe $40 a day, I mean, they're going to be closer to 100. I mean, just to maximize on that profit. And we still do. I mean, the best tactic is normally cheaper in the weekdays and then more expensive on the weekends because people usually rent stuff on the weekends. But yeah, but that car is a great buy. This one we just bought. I mean, this was our most recent one. It's a 2013 Hyundai Elanta.
It was clean. So a lot of these purchases we found from an older generation, usually grandparents and older folk that have kept these vehicles in pristine condition.
I mean, they're garage kept.
Yep, pretty much all of them have been.
It's crazy. And so what we do when we buy them, I mean, the first step is we look at it, walk around it, I mean, like a dealership would, and kind of point out all the stuff that's maybe wrong with it or broken. I mean, you roll down the windows, you check the sun visor. I mean, you do everything. You check every little thing because, I mean, if you buy something and you don't see something like a window, I mean, a window can be expensive, like when you roll it up and down. I don't know if those called like the motors.
The motors in the door, as well as air conditioning. There's all these small things that if you do the due diligence to check before purchasing, it's going to help you in the long run to save costs as well as making sure that the vehicle was taken care of.
Yeah. And this is actually first time ever. Normally, what we do is when we purchase a car from somebody, so we do that walk around. We have them or we go with them to take it to the mechanic just to make sure. I mean, our guy's great. He does a full walk around, just make sure there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, the last thing we want to do is buy something, we don't see something, we don't hear something, and then it's a couple $1,000 fix.
Yeah, you can see a little bit extra when you actually put it up on a lift. There's other stores as well that you don't have to have a local mechanic. You can take it to Big Oak Tires or one of your local tire shops. A lot of them will do a 100-point inspection or however they describe it and go over the vehicle for you for a low cost. Like I think Big Oak Tire charges $35, which is well worth the cost. Saving you thousands of dollars if they do find something.
Yeah, for sure. But this was the first instance ever where we weren't able to negotiate, and she wasn't willing to go to the mechanic. So, I mean, she knew what it was worth. She knew it was fine. I mean, we've never done this before. We kind of took a little bit of a risk, especially mechanically. I mean, for a deal, it was worth, I mean, it had 27,700, so 27,000 miles, 700. I mean, it was worth like 11,500 to 12,500. So we got a couple $1,000 discount. And then the mechanic looked at it right after. He said it was all good, but I mean, normally we wouldn't take a risk like that and just hope that it's all fine. Our next one is a 2015 Kia Rio.
It's our Mexico car, right?
That's our Mexico car. So this isn't very normal, but this car right now is in Mexico. We had a customer. I mean, this was back June, because I was at a wedding. When it was called. It was June 28th. Okay, June 28th. Customer calls, says, "Hey, got the car stuck in Mexico." We come to find out that she was transporting people. I mean, I don't know the whole situation, but she got caught at the border and they seized the car. Turo's been trying to work with us through it, but the guy that we're working with kind of.
There's some mishaps with that. We've been struggling to get that vehicle back, but they promised us we're going to get reimbursed for the days it was off the app as well as any cost that's associated with the incident.
Yes, that's a good deal, but that's a story for another day. But we got that car for $8,600. Okay, it had 21,000 miles. It's a 15, but it was a great deal. There's one thing we had to fix. It was a bolt for the axis. I mean, that was pretty expensive. That was probably
the axle.
Part
of the axle had come loose, and there were some problems associated with that. So we got that fixed out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a trooper for us before it got taken to Mexico.
That was amazing. I mean, that thing was making anywhere from like $47 to like $74 a day. That car was amazing. Silver too. I mean, we were looking for another one just like that. All right, so our next car is another one of my favorites. I mean, I love these minivans. It's a 2014 Nissan Quest. So we bought it from a lady. She just, I mean, looking to get rid of it. She didn't need it anymore. She wanted 14.5. We got her down to 12. But it needed a bumper kind of redone. We had to get somebody, I mean, really good guy. The bumper was pretty messed up. So he came and cleaned it up. I mean, it looks brand new now. He did the back bumper, and then he actually had to reattach the front bumper a little bit. So we got a pretty good deal on that. That rents anywhere from $60 a day to $90 a day, $99 a day. So it does pretty well.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's rented out pretty much every day. There's very few days it's actually at the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love it. All of our minivans have been really successful, and they're out all the time making us money, which we love to see.
Yeah. So another thing to take into consideration is immediately when we buy something, because we're buying all used cars. I mean, there's people out there buying new cars, but when we buy used cars, we immediately, the first step we do is obviously register, get insurance and all that. But the next step is actually to get it detailed. We have a guy that comes out. I mean, he's super good. He comes out, he does a full detail of the car, even if it's still pretty clean. We just want a new feel to it when it goes out.
Yeah, and this is part of giving the customer the best experience possible. You know, no one wants to rent out a car that's filthy and looks like someone lived in it. So really making sure that the vehicle is in tip-top condition when you rent it out is going to save you in the long run, whether it be in your reviews or just repeat customers. Because we've had multiple customers come back to us and say, you know, I love renting with you guys. Can we do it again? A lot of times we'll offer discounts. We'll go into that further, but definitely maintaining that quality is super important.
In the relationship, it's huge.
Yep.
Next one, of course, is the 2014 Nissan Quest. The first one we just talked about was white. This one's black. We just bought this. I mean, this was our second to newest car. It's killing it so far. It's doing a really good job.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Same price point.
Yeah, about the same price point as the previous one. Rents out super consistently. I don't have anything bad to say. This one was in great condition when we bought it.
Yeah.
Minor blemishes here and there on the exterior, but nothing that we can't handle.
Yeah. And this was one of the only ones we got from dealership. And the reason being, I mean, the dealership had it at such a good price that compared to private party, I mean, it was a really good deal. So we went out and paid for that one. So that's our fleet right now. We're probably going to buy a couple more cars in the next couple months. Our goal is 15 to 20 cars by the end of the year, which is in 2 months, which I think we can do.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, our goal with this is grow it as much as possible, and then just take you guys along with the journey. And just everybody learn, grow, and kind of learn from our successes and failures.
Yeah, we're excited to share this experience with you. I think it'll be a fun time.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like, comment, subscribe. Anything you want to see, just comment below. But thanks for watching, and we'll see everybody on the next video.
See ya.